I've played a lot of sports in my life, and I've told the stories of me getting injured in a lot of them in my bleeding and bruised commentary that I posted when I was at like 5,000 subscribers. And I realized that I kind of only went over when I was injured and not over any other stories, and sports was a pretty big part of my life. And so I want to tell you guys about 3 specific stories. One of them actually is an injury, but still funny enough that I figured I would include it because my god, it just shows how much of an absolute dumbass I was as a kid. I really hope you guys enjoy, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and let's get into the games. The first one that I'm going to talk about, surprisingly, has to do with Minecraft, because back in 3rd grade, I am hippoing, I am not playing, oh my goodness, okay, habits die hard, man. First sport is baseball. Now, I was not playing baseball a ton. I played t-ball, and then I kind of just stopped it for other sports until I was around 9 or 10. Now, around that time, I also was really enjoying Minecraft. I mean, we're talking, I didn't have any homework in class, so I would, go home, I would play Super Smash Mobs for 6 hours straight at 9 years old, and then I would go to bed or something. So, when I was 9 years old, my parents maybe were a bit concerned, it wasn't in season for any of the sports I usually play, so I wasn't, being super active, so they're like, you know what, we're gonna sign you up for baseball. And I'm like, okay, sure, I'll destroy in that sport like I destroy in every other sport. I did not destroy, but I did do pretty well. Basically, I got off of my Super Smash Mobs on Mineplex addiction because of baseball. So I get on my team when I'm 10 years old, and I'm on a team that is like, a lot of my friends are on this team, but we're not very good. I mean, we're in the league that is like, there's a minors league and a majors league in the Little League program that we had, okay? And the majors was for the people that were actually really good. And if at my age you were really good, you would, like at 10 years old, if you were really good, you get put in majors. But that only happened like 2 or 3 times a year to like kids that have been playing all their life. And I hadn't been playing all my life. I've been playing for like 4 months. So I didn't end up making the major leagues for my 10-year-old year. But I did play well enough so I could make the all-star team, which was actually kind of crazy because there weren't a lot of people from the minors who did that. I ended up going across the state for the all-star tournament because we did so well in the all-star tournament that we won the districts, which is like the lead up to the state tournament. So everyone who won their district would be in the state tournament, meaning if I'm hitting, I'm going up against someone who's pitching like 60, 70 miles an hour, which is a crazy amount to throw when you're 10. Like, you're going to just throw out your shoulder. But we did pretty well. I didn't do that well because, I was in minors the whole time. I don't know how to hit against fast pitchers, but I was really good for being a pinch runner, which is someone who comes in when you need someone fast on the bases to get around there fast. And also, I was really good at laying down the bunts because, I could just outrun the ball before it got to first base. So anyways, the 10-year-old all-star year goes super well. We get 3rd in state, and we lose to the team that would end up becoming the state champions. So 11-year-old year comes around, and you get drafted on teams when you're in the majors. And I obviously was gonna make the majors because when you're 11, you don't really qualify for minors. You'd think I'd be on a good team since I was on all-stars, right? Come on, you gotta be on a good team. No, I was on the worst team almost in the league's history, okay? You play like 24 games during the season. I won 4 games in that 24. We went like 4-20, which was tied for the worst ever. No, not even tied for the worst ever record. We beat the worst ever record by 1 game. And you want to know whose team that was? That was my brother's team on his 12-year-old year. My brother was not very athletic, so his team was the worst the league has ever seen. It was actually kind of funny. So our team is doing terrible. But I'm still doing well. My stats in the league are like pretty good, and I'm getting better at hitting. So I get chosen for the 11-year-old All-Stars again. We don't do as well this time. We lose in the district tournament, which brings me to my 12-year-old year. I finally got on a good team this year. Our team went pretty well, and I was playing shortstop and center field, which if you don't know anything about baseball, that's kind of the 2 places where like you need to be the most vocal and be like the biggest leader for the team. But I really wanted to pitch. Like I this is important for context because I really loved pitching, but because through my years, my coaches, they never wanted to put me at pitcher because they said I was too valuable in the shortstop and center field positions, that they couldn't take me out of there because then the team would fall apart, which I'm like, okay, that's fair enough. Like, I don't need to pitch. Like, maybe if we're up 10, on the rare occasions where we're up 10, I would go into pitch. I'd do pretty well. When 12-year-old year came around, it was no different. But our team was pretty good this time, and my coach was like, I can't lose you in center field and shortstop. I'm like, fair enough. Then All-Stars comes around. And I need to preface this by saying I double dipped my 12-year-old year. This is the last time that you're able to play Little League baseball, at least in the major leagues, which is what matters. I played in 2 separate leagues. Not only did I play on my 12-year-old team, which was a ton of fun, I also played a year up in something called Intermediate League. This is where the 13 and 14-year-olds play. And once again, I was 12, so I was playing way up in there. So I was playing in both of those leagues, and both those leagues have all-stars at the end. I had basically one of the best stat lines in the entire league my 12-year-old year. I was hitting super fucking well. I didn't make any errors in the field. I was a really good fielder. I basically had this is gonna get nerdy for anyone here that doesn't play baseball. I had the best batting average and definitely the best on base percentage. It was like 80% or something. And also, I think I was close to on base and slugging. And I didn't even, no, I wasn't. Basically, bottom line was I had really good stats. If you don't follow baseball, that's totally fine. I'm sorry for getting all nerdy on you. But it's very important coming up because when All-Star time was coming around and the coaches were deciding who was going to make the All-Star team. And both these leagues that I was playing in had an All-Star team. One day, my mom wakes me up. She goes, hey, this is on a weekend, like on some Saturday in like April or May. They're like, hey, both coaches are coming over in 20 minutes. I was just asleep. So these coaches are coming over to fight for me to be on their all-star team, like right as I wake up. And so I freak out. I get out of bed. I'm like, oh my God. What do I do? They're going to fight for me. Obviously, I'm going to go with the 12-year-old team because, you know, that's the team that I've been playing with the entire time in my Little League experience. And they're my friends on it. I mean, I have friends on the other team, but they're not nearly as good of friends as the other guys. So I kind of had my mind made up before they came over. They come and sit in our backyard. You know, we get them drinks. I'm just thinking about, like, they're both about to make their case for why I should play on their all-star team. Then, the 12-year-old coach, who I'd been on the team for the past 2 years, and 10, 11 years, he goes, you know, Bucky, we really would love to have you on the team. But with this tournament coming up, we need only pitchers on our team. We can't have anyone that's not a pitcher. So, I'm sorry, but you didn't make the All-Stars this year. And man, I was salty and just insanely surprised. Because I really didn't think that he was gonna pull a fast one on me, man. Oh, my 12-year-old brain was a wreck. Luckily, the other coach, who was for the 13 and 14-year-old league team, he was like, yeah, we'd love if you come and play on our All-Star team. So I still had one to play on. But getting cut out of the 12-year-old All-Stars, man, that's one of the, like, the core memories trend on TikTok. Oh my God, dude. That shit filled me with so much rage and confusion. Because, man, I had one of the best stat lines in the game, and I still was not good enough. Even though I wanted to be a pitcher, it's just my coaches never let me. But that one stuck with me, man. I still hate that coach. Mike, you motherfucker. I hate you. No, I'm kidding. It's no hard feelings. It's been like 6 years. I can't really hold that hard of feelings for that long, okay? I know I'm spiteful, but man, I am not that spiteful. One thing that is actually kind of funny was when people heard that I hadn't made the All-Star team, they were confused because they also saw my stat line and they're like, this dude is insane. Why didn't he make the team? And the pitcher that they took over me was also not that good. So when games would happen and I would show up to the games because I wanted to see my friends play still, people would be like, there'd be whispers among the crowd that I could hear that are like, when this dude messed up on the field, they're like, should have chosen Bucky. And it was like a very surreal moment because I had like the parents of people on the team on my side. It was very cool, but you know, it wasn't enough to put me on the team, of course. Moral of the story, I don't really even know if there is a moral because, like, you know, you can't control everyone. That's it. You can't control how everyone feels. And sometimes it's just not going to go as planned. And this brings me to my next story, which involves soccer or football if you're from an irrelevant place. I was pretty good at soccer in my youth. I started playing when I was like 2 or 3 years old at the YMCA. There was this like super youth, like basically a baby league that you could play in. And there, as I got older, like 5, 6, they would continue having these leagues. I would continue playing in some of them as well as an outdoor league that I played in. And oh, that's a good bow combo. And it was very obvious that I was just like running in circles around these people because I was so competitive, even at like 6 years old. I was just like running in circles. They couldn't even touch me. And I just kept scoring like hat tricks and shit. Oh my god. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna race this. Do you think I'd win this race? So as I continue playing soccer, I get on this team that's basically still a recreational league, which is like you don't have to pay to play. You only sign up to have fun. But we quickly realized that we were playing teams where we were just absolutely destroying them without even like giving up a single goal. We were like getting double digits on them. And we decided to make a change. We are going to play in a league where every single other team had to pay to play, and they had like coaches that were being paid that weren't just like volunteers. So we're going to make up against like not academy teams, but like, you know, select teams. This is pretty fun because we were still somehow winning because we had so many like people with such good talent on the team. Eventually it gets to a point where state playoffs become a thing, where if you play well enough in the regular season, you get offered to come play in the state playoffs. And we did very well in the state. In fact, I have, I think, a video in the semifinals, and I have one in the finals too, but I'll show that later. I'll see if I can put that up on screen right now.
Watch number 4.
Go, clear!
Oh, go.
Go, David, go, David! Go, go, go! Shoot it!
So we won that game in the semifinals, and that brought us to the finals. And it was a weird day because we had already played like 2 other soccer games that day. And I think the other team had only played 1, so they were obviously a bit less tired than us. But it still played a game, and soccer's an exhausting sport. So just having a finals on the same day is just such a weird thing because no one's playing at their peak. But comes to the finals, we see the ref for the game, and they look pretty familiar. I mean, this team is like very good, and they have 1 star player who can kick it basically across the field, and he's huge. And we start to realize they kind of look alike, the ref and their star player. And they also look like the coach. And it turns out for the finals of the state playoffs, the coach's daughter for the other team was the referee, which I'm like, that is pretty common sense to see, but that is an insane conflict of interest in a sports game. Like, that is just, it's so blatantly match fixing, and it really showed in the game where anytime we would touch them, we'd foul them, but anytime they bodied us, it was a play on. So we're down 0-2, and it is 10 minutes left in the game, and it's not looking good for us. And I'm back on defense because I don't know why. I'm a striker. I don't know why I was back on defense. I honestly can't remember why, but what I do remember is ball got booted out to mid. And I think I have a video of what happens next. And it's maybe one of the most hype moments in my sports career.
There it is. Nice. Come on, David!
So anyways, after that, we made state a couple more times in the years after that, and we never ended up winning it, even though, man, we were a pretty good team, and we lost to that team every single time. Luckily, the ref's coach, the ref's daughter, the coach's daughter wasn't the ref in the other ones. They were just the better team, but not that year. I swear, man, not that year. We were the better team. We should have won that shit. The last story I have isn't as long. It doesn't take years of explanation through my youth. This is just one dumb decision I made when I was like 10 again. 10 was a weird year. I think I was 10 for this, maybe 11. I really loved playing basketball as well as my other sports that I was playing. So when I play basketball, I put my body on the line, okay? And sometimes a bit too much because we did not lose a lot. In fact, we were undefeated the entire year this year. Okay, we were not a team that lost ever. And I was a point guard, and I played 2 quarters. I played for half the game, and then our other point guard played the other half. It was pretty cool. It was a pretty sick gig. And it was the 4th quarter, and I was in. We were down on points, okay, to this team that was our rival. Okay, we always beat them, but they were the closest that they ever come to beating us all the time. Because they were slightly sentient. But this time, they were up by 8. And it was not a good situation because there was 10 seconds left. Which, if you know basketball, you can't score 8 points in 10 seconds. Which makes this next part of the story so fucking weird. Because putting your body on the line for a game that is already a loss kind of doesn't seem necessary. So their team has an inbound. Okay, it is their ball with 10 seconds left. So it's just a loss. Okay, there's no way that we win this. But we realize that we're guarding all their players, and their players are in the wrong spots. Like, they're on the wrong side of the court, which leaves all of our defenders, we're on them because we're sticking to the man-to-man defense this close into the game. But that leaves a lot of space near the basket that they're shooting. Like, basically, that entire half is open. And I'm guarding the dude throwing in the ball. And I see someone run past me, behind me. I feel it. I sense it. I hear it. Whatever you want to say. I hear a guy run past me, and he's running to the hoop that they're going to score on. And no, there's someone chasing him, but he is too slow to get to him. So, and I see the guy that I'm guarding on the inbound start to wind up a throw. Oh my lord. Start to wind up a throw to throw to him. And I'm like, oh my god, dude. We're not going to lose this game. I still was convinced that we could win. So I start sprinting across the court to try to get to this ball before it gets to this dude so he can easily score. And this dude throws up a ball, and it's high up, and it's literally like a fucking football throw, dude. He throws it over his head, over his shoulder like a football. And I go up, and like the fucking, like a... Think Richard Sherman NFC Championship, 2014, okay? This is like jump as high as you can to like get one finger on the ball. But instead of getting a finger on the ball, I get both hands on the ball. And it's a full-out dive backwards, okay? And if both my hands are on the ball and I'm falling to the ground, what's gonna happen to my body? I can't use my hands to stop my fall. I start to realize this on the way down, but by the time I realize it, I already have the ball in my hand and it's too late. It was an awesome catch, but then right there, bang! My head hits the floor, and it is like the hardest I've ever hit my head before. And I get up, and I throw the ball to my teammate across the court, and then lay back down as the buzzer guns down, because obviously we're not gonna fucking win that game. It was a useless fucking catch and a useless head injury. But the bang was so loud that like parents came onto the court because they thought I might have like fucking died. But yeah, that like it was an almost like maybe life-changing injury that could have happened right there if I hit my head in the right spot. And that it's kind of a metaphor, you know? I really like to put in my all the time, which is why I spent the last 2 weeks playing Lego Star Wars. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. Let me know if you guys want more and what you want me to talk about. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Peace.